Nah. Hey, you know what's so crazy? I want to react to this. It's called Do Mystery. Okay. This look interesting. Hold up. Actually, let me see about
Apple's life. The signing would be scheduled.
He was one of
So look, let me tell y'all something about this. So y'all know here, I'm gonna search it up. So I'm gonna show you. So y'all know like Cameron over here. So him, basically, if you watch a Paid in Full movie, y'all know Cameron. So the dude who's actually plays Cameron, who Cameron plays, what's his name? Apollo. I spell Apollo wrong. That's him. And then when he was older, where's he at? Yeah. So that's basically him. But Painful was a hell of a movie. That's probably one of my top two favorite hood movies, bro.
the city's most notorious dealers, famous since the 1980s for his murderous ways and mountains of cash and immortalized in dozens of rap songs and the movie Paid in Full. But it all came to an end for Alpo Martinez right here on the streets of Harlem, right where it all began.
Yeah, they got that nigga. Yeah, they got him.
Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. Previous Kingpin and ruthless hitman of Harlem, Alpo Martinez, got off a phone call with former criminal affiliate, AZ. The conversation revolved around inking a contract deal where him, along with Alpo, would collaborate on ventures like film and interviews based on their backstory and Alpo's life. The signing would be scheduled for Sunday, October 31st, but the meetup never happened. As no documents were ever signed, Alpo Martinez, in a hauntingly strange twist of events, was murdered in cold blood. The same Halloween Sunday, the agreement was to be signed.
Wait, he got killed in Halloween? God damn. They fucked up.
In writing. Before the final moments of his life, Alpo was playing a dangerous game. Previously notorious for being a kingpin back in the 80s, there was one other notable history to his name in terms of the gang culture. He was labeled the snitch that sold out his fellow affiliates to dodge capital punishment and a life sentence that sold out his fellow affiliates to dodge. He was labeled the snitch.
Word? So you mean, so wait, you hear
To his
that?
name in terms of the gang culture. He was labeled the snitch.
He told. He is messed up.
That sold out his fellow affiliates to dodge capital punishment and a life sentence when the law came knocking on his door.
Huh? How did the police know?
The police?
Right.
I told them.
You told them to?
Yeah.
He told? Man, he's a rat. What? That is crazy, bruh. That's crazy, bruh. My dog Toad.
I had to confess to all these murders in order.
Oh, okay, just in case it came up later.
Right. When you in that situation as far as dealing with the government or cooperating with it, you don't just tell them, you gotta tell your involvement too.
Okay.
You don't just tell what other people did, you gotta tell what you did too.
Alpo served around 25 years instead of providing investigators with information on his affiliates and confessing to 14 hits, and was given a new identity and life in Lewiston, Maine, under the false name Abraham Rodriguez, where he lived under witness protection.
And some call a snitch after he turned on his associates to cut a deal for less prison time. In 2015, he was released from prison after serving more than 20 years.
Alpo Martinez wouldn't be able to let go of his former status, and his ego led to making the first grave error in his decision, making that lead to his end. Videos began emerging of Alpo back in the streets of Harlem, in broad daylight, without a care. To those who were once affiliated with him in the past, Alpo Martinez was an attention junkie. Being arrested and turned into an informant meant he lost in the eyes of the gang culture, but denial.
So he was a attention junkie. What? Bro, you mean to tell me? You mean to tell me this guy was a attention junkie? Oh Lord, cannot believe it.
And his heavy want to be the king of Harlem led him to not accept defeat and instead parade along the city as proof he was still the feared man of the old times.
Alpo lost in the game. You got busted. You became a snitch. Everybody's calling you a rat. So you lost, but he didn't accept the loss, bruh.
Before the very friends and family of those he switched sides on and got imprisoned, Alpo was living his best life, riding luxury vehicles, motorcycles, and skydiving. He was living as if he had never wronged those that trusted him.
I did not know that. This dude's like... So you mean to tell me he went to prison, he snitched, he's a attention junkie, and he coming up in his mud thinking this is good and great. Boy, like the term says, snitches get stitches. I'm telling you.
Alpo went as far as releasing a documentary detailing the how and where of one of his most notorious homicides and betrayals, the murder of his closest friend and business partner, Rich Porter.
Bang, bang. Richard slumped over, and it happened. It happened right here. It happened right here. At this light. At this light, it happened.
Alpo was having the time of his life crossing activities off his bucket list, not knowing that soon, that list would never be finished. The final moments of Alpo's life were set in motion on the night of Halloween, October 31st, 2021. Alpo, now comfortable and settled back into Harlem, got ready and made his way to a Halloween party to celebrate and continue enjoying his freedom. His costume of choice was blue jeans, a black shirt, a black leather.
What the fuck? That was his Halloween costume? Bruh, ain't no way, bruh. He got smoked, bro.
Louis Vuitton coat with a matching Louis Vuitton hockey mask. Some sources like popular urban entertainment platform, Vlad TV, claimed the mask was to hide his identity. So maybe Alpo, even if his ego blurred his sense of logic, was aware that his life could be taken for his past actions.
So he knew. So you mean to tell me he's going to a Halloween party and he knew that's why he tried to cover his identity? Like, bro, that's not good, bro. That's not a good combination, brother.
That same night, just hours before he lost his life, Someone who identified him as his son posted up Alpo on their Instagram profile as the night was progressing. His son would be revealed to be the rapper Paparazzi Poe. At around 3 a.m., Alpo had his fill of the night festivities and was getting ready to hit the road. He would exit the party on West 147th Street and Frederick Douglass Boulevard and entered into his red Dodge Ram just around 3:20 a.m. At that time, an assailant would open fire, hitting Alpo 5 times, about the body including his chest, chin, and arm. Alpo Martinez, in an attempt to escape as blood was gushing from his wounds, stomped on the gas, and his vehicle took off. Gasping for breath, he was able to drive about 4 blocks before losing consciousness and crashing into a...
So wait, if we look at Wikipedia and tell him how he died, is it going to tell me the same thing? Because when I first heard about this, I thought he died by a road rage. Okay, so I guess he died like that.
Parked car.
Right in front of the precinct, too. You heard?
Alpo laid in the driver's seat, drawing his last breaths. Around 3:30 a.m., the cops were already alerted of the shooting in the area and arrived on the scene to find Alpo in his vehicle. Paramedics and law personnel were at the time unaware of who he was, and his ID was registered to his witness protection alias, Abraham Rodriguez. Alpo was rushed to Harlem Hospital Center, where he was pronounced dead on arrival.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards. Yeah, we print that. But did you know we also print that, and that, and that, and that menu?
Alpo Martinez was living a life on the edge. No matter how much he pushed forward to reclaim his title as the King of Harlem, his past followed. As his passing became published officially by news outlets, there was a mixture of grief and celebrations. While his son mourned his father's passing on his favorite holiday, Halloween, which was just 2 days before his birthday, others, like Rich Porter's niece and gangsters in the streets of Harlem, were popping champagne, celebrating his end.
Yeah, they got that.
Wait, what?
Harlem's birthday. Others, like Rich Porter's niece and gangsters in the streets of Harlem, were popping champagne, celebrating his...
The disrespect? What? So you mean to tell me they was popping champ? Dang, they messed up.
his end.
Yeah, they got that. Yeah, they got him.
His murder became worldwide news. Every news station was posting the untimely demise of the Kingpin that once held Harlem in the palm of his hand.
These are exclusive photos of Alberto Alpo Martinez on previous visits to Harlem in recent years. But his latest visit turned out to be his last. On Sunday, about 3:20 a.m., police were called to Frederick Douglass Boulevard near West 147th Street. A dark red pickup truck crashed into parked cars. The driver was shot 5 times in the chest through the car window and killed.
I heard 5 shots, 1 and then four consecutive shots after that.
It was Alpo, but his driver's license and other IDs had his witness protection name of Abraham Rodriguez with a Lewiston, Maine address.
Alpo Martinez's homicide marked the end of an era. His name was memorialized throughout the hip-hop culture around the world, often used as an analogy from the classic movie, Paid in Full, that depicted his betrayal to his best friend, Rich Porter. As far as everyone was speculating as to the cause of Alpo's murder, it was due to him turning informant, breaking the code of the gang culture, and placing associates behind bars for his freedom. Even law enforcement believed that to be the reason.
Somebody just, I guess, maybe went out for revenge, but it's a sad situation, and I wish they stopped doing this gun.
Others, like a senior law enforcement official, said investigators believed Alpo Martinez likely was back in the illegal trade in Harlem, and they discovered a trail of packets led from his open window